Alright, peeps. Run into a little bit of a snafu here. I do apologize. Can't get Mixer to update and connect. So I'm trying to get through to them right now to get that taken care of. So set up our account. Or, our account's already set up, doesn't matter. There's a connection error to them. Maybe they won't get to be streamed on. Yes, just turn them off. So we'll just have this in YouTube. I guess, yeah. What the hell, right? So, anyway, Murder is not here yet. I haven't heard back from him. Here's your phone, sweetheart. But today, okay, so today I'm going to go ahead and start with the ESRB rating, and I'm going to tell you about how that came about. Now, I put forth onto one of the channels that I subscribe to for Facebook. It is Florida Gamers. And on Florida Gamers, I put out there that my younger son wanted a game that was not appropriate for him at his age that he is currently. And I got a lot of positive feedback on that of people who were, stating, yes, you are correct. That is, you're doing a good thing. You're a good parent, for doing all this other stuff, and and my wife and I, we really thought that, more parents need to be a little bit more proactive in what their kids are messing around with when it does come to games. Some games are not appropriate for certain ages. It's just, they're not. It's not that you're sheltering them. It's just that at that point in time, they're not ready for it. It's that simple. So anyway, we're just going to go over the kind of the ESRB rating system, what it is, what it's about. And also I'm going to post a link to the ESRB.org. Let me get that over here. Control C. Let's get over to here, Control V. This is where you will find all of the ratings for the game systems. Learning about what each thing is. Like, you got a ratings category, you have then a content descriptor, and then you have the interactive elements. All of these items are on every game you purchase nowadays. On every last one of them. Now, say you're at the store and you need to check something just because you need to check something. Well, they have an app for that. Just like with everything else, they have an app for it. And there is your app link. You can plug this into your phone, get it from Amazon, download from the Windows Store, Apple Store, or Google Play. It doesn't matter. You can get it from any one of them and go from there. Now, the ESRB is Entertainment Software Ratings Board, and the year is an international age thing. It's called IARC, and it's an International Age Rating Coalition. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so that every game has a category, and in that category, it is dictated by what criteria it meets, if it can be a rated R, or not R, shit. And rated T for teen, rated E for everyone, M for mature. Hold on, let me go back to the website and I can just go through them all. Mature and adult. You have everyone. You have everyone plus 10. It's a 10 plus E. Then you have teens, mature, which is mature plus 17 plus, and then adults only, which is 18 plus. Now those are your rating categories. 5 different categories that any game's going to fall into one of those particular ones. Now, the game that my son wanted was Grand Theft Auto 5. And I know from experience that Grand Theft Auto, the series of games, aren't really for kids. They never have been from the get-go. They have been for mature audiences only. Now, that's not to say that a parent can't say that their kid at the age of 14 has shown maturity enough that they can play the game. That they know that it's just a game and that's all it's ever gonna be. Okay? Now, it ultimately boils down to the parents. And as parents, we need to buckle down and make sure that our kids are being responsible gamers. And being a responsible gamer dictates we watch them play their games and correct their behavior in accordance to the way they're acting. I've done it many a times with my own children. They'll be out there playing a game, they get upset, they get butthurt because they got outplayed, and I have to put a stop to their ranting because they got outplayed. It happens. We all get outplayed one way or another. I mean, you look at some of these big-ass YouTubers out there like Grimes, Mr. Grimes or Grims or however he pronounces his damn name. Shroud, Dr. Disrespect, guys like that. They get outplayed. And how they handle themselves in accordance to the way they lose or win shows the maturity level. Now, you've got guys out there like Ninja, who plays a lot of Fortnite, and he is probably not the worst winner or loser, but he's really bad at winning, he's bad at losing. But that's not to say that, somebody cheated maybe one time and he had an issue with it, and by rights he could take that and say, hey, report him for cheating. You guys seen it? No, he's downright just starts having a conniption fit. These types of people, we don't need these people showing our kids how to play video games. We as parents need to be the ones showing our kids how to play video games. We're the ones that need to set the example when it comes to video games. Now, I have gotten salty playing video games because cheaters cheat. Now, if I got outplayed, I got outplayed. Might not liked it, but you know what? You give them a GG and you move the fuck on. Sorry for the language, but that's what you do. Now, when it comes to content descriptions, there are things that are written inside the box right next to the rating. The content description is going to give you what is detailed with the game. Now, see, E for everyone, comic mischief and mild lyrics. That is written right on it. If it's a mature, there's sexual content, there's drug use, alcohol use, tobacco use, all of these different things that they have to describe in there because that's what is giving them that mature rating. The same with teens or adults only or things like that, like nudity, and that all has to be put in there. Just because certain games cannot be sold to children under a certain age. Now, there are interactive elements also written on the box And those are things like user interacts, shares your location, unrestricted internet, and then in-game purchases. Now, in-game purchases, that could be on an E for everyone. That could be on an E plus, or 10 plus. That could be on a teen. That could be on any of them. So when you're buying a game for your children, look at that. Look at what you're getting when you buy the game. It's really not that hard to spend 2 to 3 minutes just looking at your ratings, content descriptors, and your interactive elements and making a decision on whether that game should be in your home for your child to play. And or if you're going to play it, that's fine and dandy. You're an adult. You can play the damn game all you want. But we're talking about kids here. And like I said, we need to be the monitors. We need to be the parents, not somebody else telling us that our kids shouldn't be doing something when it comes down to playing video games. You know, if I got one of my kids that wants to play 7 Days to Die, and he wants to go all lone wolf and go out there and start shooting other people in there, but the first time he gets shot and killed and he has a conniption fit over it, squash it like a bug. It ain't going to happen ever again. If it does, I'll pull the plug on your computer. And it won't be the first time I shut power off to the living room to everybody's computers. So as parents, we need to make sure that we are paying attention to this and making the right decisions for our children. And if your child is showing a little bit of a maturity level that works, so be it. Let them play a game that you feel they should be able to play, but you've got to buy it. And then it falls on the parent after that. Not the game content creator, not the production, not the developers, none of them. None of them are to be responsible because they put on there exactly what the game is about. You bought the game as a parent, you let your children play it, and if they can't tell the difference between a game and real life, that is on the parent. So, as a parent myself, searching myself, we dictate which games they can play, which games they can't. We dictate if they have certain friends on, or if we feel that eventually, it's okay, it's not going to be a good thing. You need to stop being friends with this guy because, it's being toxic. Because once it starts getting toxic, it's a bad habit to break. Toxicity needs to be nipped in the bud right away. So, all in all, ESRB, utilize it for your kids, and if another person is buying it for their kid because they want to buy it for their kid, you let them do that. That's on them. That is on them. They're buying the game, and if their kid turns into one of those toxic little buttholes, then that's on the parent because the parent's not disciplining the child properly and not monitoring what the child is doing. Now, there are some ESRBs that fall into other categories like early childhood, which are the ECs. Obviously, the adults only. I'm trying to see. I think that's it. Because the early childhood games like Dora the Explorer and, Bob the Builder. Anyway, those guys, that's early childhood development type games. So, that's going to have one of those EC games or maybe just C for, childhood games or something like that. But anyway, if you have any questions about those types of things, go right over to the esrb.org. I did put a link in the description, in the chat window. I also put in the chat window the mobile download for the esrb.org so that while you're out on the go, you hear somebody talking about a game, you think you might like it, you want to check the mature rating on it because your kids might like it too. Oh, it's an adults only game. That's when you as the parent needs to make that decision. So, ESRB, anybody have any questions? Anybody? Anybody? One of you guys over on YouTube? Any of you guys over in the channel there? Zags, hey, how you doing, man? Glad to see you here. Now, did you catch the beginning of it? Did you catch the beginning of what I was explaining why we were going about this? And you're right, Searchy. It does give you a better understanding of what you're getting into when it comes to the games. And Twitch is being really just today. I can't get it to load up on one browser, so I had to end up loading it up on another browser and had to refresh it like 9 or 10 times to get it to refresh properly. So Twitch itself is having the issues. I got you. Okay. So anyway, the ESRB is actually actively going out and doing a outreach and public education on these different games, or about what they do as far as these different games and stuff of those sorts. There are many kids who've gotten into some real trouble because the parents thought it was okay to buy the child a game, and then that child got in trouble online and got their whole system banned. What do they call that banned? On a console ban, right? Got their console banned because of what they've done. Because the parents allowed this to happen because the parents didn't pay attention. So we just need to, as parents ourselves, pull the reins on our kids, be parents, and make those decisions for our kids because they can't always make the correct ones. Well, see, that's the thing, Kuga. You can't blame the developers because the ESRB is in place so that each game has a rating on it. So it boils down to the parents or the individual buying that game. So if Big Brother is buying Little Brother a mature game, then that falls on Big Brother. And what if Mom finds out about it and Big Brother's like, well, you said it was okay. Well, no, she did not. Or Dad said, no, I did not. That's on the Big Brother. And if the parents didn't want him playing it, he then went behind Mom and Dad's back, and there you go. It's chaos at best when you've got kids that go behind their parents' backs to get something that they want because their friends haven't. So basically what I'm trying to say is be a parent, and if you have a little brother or a little sister that likes a game that, well, actually, the developers don't have a hand in how the ESRB works. The ESRB has a strict guideline that if a game meets a certain criteria, it has the ESRB rating right there, bam, on it. If the developer has one too many F-bombs, it gets a mature rating instead of a teen rating. If it has side boob in it, it still gets a teen rating because it's not considered nudity. That's on the ESRB. They're the ones that put those labels on there, not the developers. Even on Steam, those developers do not have a hand in it. They develop a game. The people who put the game out, the product, what do they call them again? No, the product producers who push the game out there. They're the ones that get the game out there. But in all honesty, it is the ESRB that puts those on there. Puts it right on every last one of those games. And if a game doesn't have an ESRB on it, then that game didn't go through the ESRB. And it's not a certified type of game, and it should be considered an adult-only game. And that then would be on the retailer for not looking closely enough and putting it on there, or recommending that, hey, you need to put this on there before we can sell it. That falls on the retailer then. And they call that the ESRB Retail Council. And it was launched in 2005, and that is a store policy enforcement of making sure that the ESRB is on every one of those. Well, see, that's the thing, though. House Party didn't get bypassed as much as Steam overlooked it, didn't pay attention, and it didn't get put on there, and that's where the ESRB Retail Council comes into play. If there's enough people who complain about it, it goes to the ESRB Retail Council, or what they call the ERC, and the ERC then says, you need to put an ESRB label on this, and you need to do it now. So it didn't really bypass as much as got overlooked because there was something on there. Well, it's like Honeycamp Studios. Honeycamp Studios had a rating, a mature rating right on it. And Twitch allowed it to be streamed until a lot of parents came down on Twitch saying, there's just no way you can do this. You can't allow this to be done. And then it's no longer allowed to be streamed on Twitch now. People who actually try to stream it are getting banned for streaming that game. Well, I understand that, Cougar. I understand that. But what I'm trying to get at is that the ESRB is put there for a reason. And as parents, that's our responsibility to make sure that not only we read that, but we enforce what we feel our children should be playing and should not be playing. Now, if I think that a teen game should be a mature game, then I would sit down with my wife, Serchi, and we would go over it and say, this is what I feel. She goes, this is what I feel. And if we come to the conclusion that we're right, that it should be a mature rating, then boom, that's what we do. Oh, we still got that on there going? Showing the CNG Gaming Show at 7:30 on Sundays. I thought I fixed it too. I guess I must not have hit the submit button. Gonna have to fix that. Ignore that, peeps. But anyway, my whole thing about this is it started out as a question that I put to the Florida gamers that were, where I live. I live in Florida, and I'm part of a group on Facebook called Florida Gamers. And I put that to them about what the issue that we see going on, because one student has it who's a friend of my son's, and then he's going to go and say, well, I want it, but we said no, he can't have it. Yes, and that's where okay, I am going to go ahead and I am going to copy and I'm going to paste this directly to you guys so you can read it verbatim what it states. Oh, that's what it says. Okay, never mind. I'm an idiot. Hold on. There. That is directly from the ESRB's About Education page. Yeah, you're not seeing it yet, but if you listen, it's still processing. Could be because because Twitch is being all whatever. So did it go through now? I'm sure it did. Hold on, peeps. Well, I get what you're saying. I really do. Let's see if it comes up faster here. Excuse me. I have the belches right now. Well, and I understand. I understand that you're being protective of your sister. But there's a time and a place that children, you know what I mean? We're talking children getting a hold of games that they shouldn't be playing. And I just posted this to the thing and it still didn't come through, did it? Anyway, here, I will... What does this say? Oh no, it's not even going through on the small one. I just put a link in, it still didn't go through proper. See if I can do it here. Well, it is, as long as the developer puts it through, and then the retail partners will actually have to say it has to have it on there in order for them to be able to sell it. And that's where I was sending a link. You can go down and you can see where it says that the retail partnership, they've been set up in 2005. There's a store policy enforcement that means they have to have it on there in order to sell those types of games. Like I said, peeps, by the way, it's just being so stupid right now, the Twitch and all that. No, not all of them. The shady ones, yes, I'll give you the shady ones. But most of all of your main developers have it right on it already. They already know what needs to be on it, and it's already on there. Nobody else has to do anything else. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The shady ones. Those are the ones you got to be careful of. And those are the games that you really don't want to mess with in the first place if they're just going to be shady about something. And if it's a PC only game and it's a shady company, who's to say that it ain't got some kind of hacking software in it that, they put into the game code? Just saying. And if you guys are wondering, Murder hasn't made it here yet, but when he gets here, we can kick it up a notch, I guess. Now, I did put into the description, like I said, the website. You guys can go to it, read it, and if you have questions, you can contact them directly and get straight from the horse's mouth exactly what they do if you don't believe what you read on their website. And then there is a mobile version of this that you can download as well. I did put that in the chat as well. It is just the esrb.org/mobile. Yeah, I know, right? No, I think he was taking care of some things today, and he probably just got sidetracked with it all and wasn't able to get away from it. And that kind of happens, you just can't really deal too much with it. Now, I do know that the second half of the show was going to have to do with his PC build. Now, he did get all the parts. He did get all the parts put together. But he could not get them to boot. You know what I mean? Couldn't get him to boot. And he called me up and he explained what had happened and everything. And he had to contact AMD directly because the boards he got were the right boards, but they weren't updated for the brand new chipsets. So AMD is shipping him a chipset so that he can update the BIOS so that he can put his new CPU or APUs in and get things running. So it'd probably be next show when he can give you all the information about how he tested them and all that other stuff. But as it stands right now, last I knew, he was still waiting on that stuff. And he did, I think, install a brand new hard drive into his other computer to help because he had a bad hard drive. And it seems to be a consensus of what's going around because I have one as well, but I don't think mine was as bad as his. Now, we were looking at the poll for the hours of the service, hours for 7 days to die. And with the hours for 7 days to die, we were looking at a 24-hour server, literally 1 hour for 1 hour, a 12-hour server, which is 1 real hour for 2 in-game hours, a 6 hours, and then a 3-hour, 24-hour cycles. And by one vote, the 12-hour won. Now, I put onto the 7 Days to Die forum because, according to the Fun Pimps, if it's not a business proposition or if it's not some sort of media relations thing, they do not take emails from people. You got to go to the forums. So I did put to the forums and ask the question, one, exactly how would we be able to set up the server for it to run a 24 to 24, and how to make sure that it's set up properly, meaning for a 12-hour, 24-hour server. And then to see if we could get the 24-hour server to continually run without anybody on the server. So it would be a true 7-day server, meaning Saturday morning, bright and early, 4 a.m., zombies stop running, and we go into playing the game on day 1, and we work our way to day 7, Friday night at midnight or 10 o'clock, zombies start running, and it's on until 1 a.m. So from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. real time, that's 11, 12, 1, 2, 2, yeah. Well, it's 1 or 2. That's 4 hours. 4 hours of non-stop zombie action for a horde night. Yes, we are gluttons for punishment. But what are you going to do? It makes good gameplay. It makes good content for all of our viewers to come and watch us get our asses handed to us. Or zombies getting theirs handed to them. One of the two. So, we're gonna be working on those. We'll let you guys know exactly how that's going to transpire. And yes, more action. And it's real time action too. That's going to be the biggest thing, because if you don't have an airdrop for 3 days, and that's 3 real days for an airdrop. Well, see, the thing is, if you're going out and you're looting to get all the stuff you need, you're doing it really, really fast, and you've got only so many hours to get to that 7th day. So if you're running a 60-minute, 24 hours, that's 7 hours. You're on the 7th day by then. Whereas with the way we want to set it up, 7th day is the 7th day. So all that time in between is your preparation time of your base to get through. So you're basically going to be spending hour for hour building your bases, building up your defenses. And that will affect the food production. So you got to be a little bit more cautious about your food, because if you don't have your food growing in that, rapid time, and you got to spread out to 7 days, so it takes 3 days of real 3 days for it to grow versus 3 hours. That's exactly what the game needs. It needs that bit of hardcoreness to it. More so than, oh, you died, you got to start a new character. That would be a good one too to add to this. But in essence, having the server situated so that we could just go on and play, and you would then have to loot further from where you're at, so you would actually have to make trips going out and then coming back in. So it would make for some interesting gameplay, and some of the gameplay might be even slow gameplay. But if it's going to be slow gameplay and it's just going to be gathering of resources and not a lot's going to happen, well then we do some local recordings of it, and then we edit it down a little bit and put it right out there to YouTube directly, both on mine and Murder's channels, one from my point of view and one from his point of view. And then if anybody else wants to play on it with us, they're more than welcome to. And like I said, I don't know where Murder's at, so I can't get exactly what he's going to be doing as far as this his computer build is, but I do know that it was completed Everything went together really well. He, things fired up. It's just that the APUs didn't fire up because the BIOS weren't set for those APUs. And it just looks like he just checked his Facebook messages, so he might be coming in here soon. So we'll see here. We'll just give him a little bit, because I would like for him to explain to you guys what exactly transpired, because it's his thing, it's not mine. It's what he was doing, so I can't give you all the details like he can give you all the details and stuff. Plus, I want to hear his thoughts on the ESRB as well when it comes to that, and to kind of give you guys some ideas of what we would be doing with the 7 Days to Die servers and stuff. Alright, Murder, where the hell are you? Well, becoming the wealthiest person in WoW. Let me give you a little heads up on that one. Murder again bought me another month, and thank you very much, Mr. Murder. I do appreciate that. I have been farming some things, trying to find the best areas to farm, especially with the new expansion coming up, and what to hold on to until the expansion drops, and then put it in the auction house to sell it. Now, that's what a lot of it's going to be at from here on out, is probably just gathering materials for doing that, and then turning around and selling it when the expansion drops. Because you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be needing those mats to get their characters up to par and all that. And with the new way that they're going to be doing, from what I'm understanding, from what I've read on their websites, and for Blizzard, and what I've read on some of the Reddit posts and stuff, is that they're going to be taking the professions, and they're going to be splitting the professions up by expansions. And so you're going to start seeing Warlords of Draenor being its own profession tree, as look at this as being your expansions, this one being vanilla, this one being Burning Crusades, this one being Wrath of the Lich King. All three of those are probably going to be thrown together. But then after that, once you start getting to Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria, and so forth and so on, those are all going to have their own little setup where they're going to go from 1 to 100 on every one of them. And so I'm going to be working my damnedest to make sure that I have all materials I need for all the servers I play on, so that when the expansion drops, we have the resources to do what we need to do, and to make plenty of gold so that we can buy more WoW time. That being said, I'm still working on that, searching. And I don't think I'll ever become the wealthiest person in WoW, but damn it, I'm not going to give up. And Murder just came into Discord. He just pulled it up. He's not in channel just yet. Let's give him just a little bit of time. Let him do his thing, and let's get him in here. Honestly, I want Murder in on all this. And again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put those two links into chat. That way, if you guys want to look at them and read them, you're more than welcome to read exactly what they have and maybe even download the app. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's back offline. Oh, there he is. Maybe. We're waiting on murder. Sergey and I both went looking at storefronts the other day. And we're looking at how much it would cost for storefronts for the CNG Gaming Center. And actually, opening the store as, a physical location so that we can start getting wholesale merchandise so that we're able to give better prices for people with games and things of the sort. And maybe we can find ourselves a good wholesaler who we can get game systems from at a better price than if we were just to go in and buy them. We would buy them right now at the exact same cost you guys would get them at a store. So there's really not a profit to be made there. In fact, we would probably end up losing money versus making money when it comes to that kind of way of doing things. Now, I really would like for the store to really hit it off really well. It's just going to take quite a bit of perseverance on our behalf to make it work. It's that simple. So, we might do some blogs and stuff like that from the store, so you guys can see, how things are going at the store and stuff like that. And we'll stream straight from the store. We'll probably be getting things situated to make our own shirts. The silk screening machines and stuff like that. That's what we're looking at getting. We got to go and put a business proposal together to take it to the bank, and then that way we can turn around and get a loan, purchase the items that we need for the business, and get that ball rolling. Get us out there a little bit more, both in the CNG gaming side and on the side for the CNG technological solutions side, where we're building websites and apps and stuff like that. In fact, I just downloaded a new Android Studio, which is free. I just downloaded that so we can make Android apps. The one for iTunes, their iTunes Studio app builder is $100 just to download it. So there's no way I'm going to do that.
What?
Yeah. Okay, let me catch you up, Murder. Check it out. We talked about...
I wanted to say greetings, everybody, from, I don't know how many thousand feet up. Hiking down a trail. Pass tunnel in South Carolina.
Oh. Check him out, peeps.
If I sound out of breath, it's because I'm fat and out of shape. I'm having to hike this trail through the mountains.
It's like what I posted on Facebook, right? Your lungs asking you, what the hell are you doing? Are you being chased?
Yeah. The youngest one just told me it's 1,510 feet in elevation.
Oh, well, that's nothing. Let's get you out there into Utah and put you at 8,000 feet.
Nah, with a parachute?
Nope. Climbing that mountain, baby. Climb that mountain. So, okay, let me catch you up to speed here. Okay, so we were talking about the ESRB and talking about how the ESRB is put into place because of all the hickamoroar of what is put into games, and there was some sort of enforcement that was needed to put categories into games like they do movies. They hit certain criterias, they get a certain rating. And, I was explaining to them the issue of my son wanting Grand Theft Auto 5. I think I told you about this. And so I was explaining to them that the ESRB is out there simply because parents need to make a better informed decision about a game for their kids. And I wanted to get your input about that. Murder, I can't hear you.
No, I'm not pushing the button. Hang on just a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got a push to talk still so you don't hear in the background.
You don't hear that bear chasing you?
Yeah, there you go. Put a picture on Discord for you.
Oh, hold on. Let me get the Discord here. Oh, nice. That's nice.
I'll try to get one of the overlooks. We're on our way back to the parking lot now.
Okay, cool.
So I may possibly lose the signal. I have a signal up here. When we get down to the parking lot, it's kind of down in the valley, so I might lose it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were talking about the ESRB. Yeah, it's not rules to live by. Like, you don't let them determine what your kids watch. It's just a guideline. This is what the government, if you care much for the government, says is okay for your kids.
Yeah, well, and it's a lot of it. It takes it off of the video game developers and puts it onto the parents.
Yeah, which honestly is where it should be. You should know what your kids are doing, what they're watching, what they're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't just let them do what they want to and raise themselves. That's what's wrong with half the people nowadays.
That is very much true. That's very much true. So we were going through it, and I did see that they do have a mobile app. So you can actually download the ESRB ratings and check games by just entering in a title. And then you can filter it by ratings, platform, and content. And it'll give you, what games are falling underneath it if you don't want to go by, one game or another, or you want to just check a certain platform for mature games because, you only play mature games. You don't play the teens and, kiddie games and stuff. So, I put that out there. It's in the description when we go to put this on YouTube and stuff. We'll put it in the description of those two. But I also brought him up to speed a little bit about your computer build and the little bit of a hiccup in the building process.
Yeah, but a little bit of a hiccup. The motherboard, obviously, these are really, really, really new processors. Boards you order online from anybody's house, so they were probably manufactured before these new processors even came out. So the BIOS doesn't function for these processors. You need to flash the BIOS. I didn't go with the high-end motherboard that has the easy flash on it because we were trying to budget build, see what we could do with a budget build. The board has to be flashed either with a functioning processor that matches the BIOS or send it to the motherboard manufacturer and let them flash it for you and send it back.
And the cheaper version was having AMD send you a used one just for flashing the BIOS.
They'll send you a loaner. I'm thinking, because I haven't finished the process with AMD yet. It's a rather drawn out process, to be honest with you, and it's starting to become a headache to where I may just uninstall these boards from this build, mail them to Asus, let them flash them, and mail them back to me, because it's been, a week?
Just about,
AMD,
yeah.
I got one email from AMD after I sent the request saying, hey, we need proof of the manufacturer saying that this is what you need to do, that your BIOS doesn't match, which I did. 3 days later, I get another email saying, hey, we need proof of your part number, your serial number of the processor, part number and serial number of the motherboard. Then we'll tell you if you're going on to the next part of the process. I mean, if that takes 3 more days, I could have had these boards almost back by now.
Yeah, exactly. Zach, can you hear him now better? I turned him up. Zach's just having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, okay.
So I turned you up a little bit. I was just seeing if he heard you as I turned you up or not. But that is, taking that forward. If you're going to be buying these, make sure you check the BIOS and when it was produced versus a brand new CPU or APU.
Now, I have noticed a lot of them on Newegg, at least. Newegg gives better specification descriptions than Amazon does. So on Newegg, at least, some of the boards, I went back and looked because I thought just return the boards and get new ones. But then that wouldn't really be a budget build for me to be able to tell people, hey, entire gaming computer, $650. Some of the boards are showing. Now, they'll show, which is the problem I ran into, that they're AM4 and they're compatible with the new Ryzen processors. Not really. Some of them you have to look through specifications and see. It will actually say the Ryzen APUs and the different code names. Now, these are Raven Ridge. So you want to specifically look for Raven Ridge in the description. Those already have the right BIOS for it.
Yeah, if it doesn't have your BIOS or your code name on it, it does not support that CPU or APU. And it doesn't matter if it's Intel or AMD. That's the thing. Either one, you have to make sure that they do match. If they don't, you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
So, taking away from this, when you do your next build, you're going to be just a little bit more proactive in making sure that they're going to match, because of what you've learned so far.
Yeah, well, most builds I do that. I double and triple check to make sure everything's compatible with each other. The only problem we ran into was the descriptions not being clear enough to show exactly what BIOS, because these chips are so new. Now, if I do another build with a brand new processor, then I'm going to do more research than I did this time.
Yeah. Now, the first computer you built was once for your wife, and the second one is for your son. Is that correct?
Almost fell down the hill. It got kind of slippery. Yeah, the first one or two, not really a first or second. The first one I actually put together.
Yeah.
With my son's. He got his money, saved it up from work, bought his parts. It's an identical build to my wife's. We had to wait on a couple of parts. We had to wait on for the computer case on hers.
Yeah.
But they're identical builds. I mean, the only difference is they're different computer cases. All the internals are exactly the same.
Okay. Yeah, it's like what I did with Searchy and her son, or our son. Their builds are identical on the inside, just the outsides are different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just different towers, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get one more picture if I don't lose a signal. Get one more picture of these waterfalls.
Waterfall or the Fat Man Fall?
It's the fat man falling off the waterfall.
Woo! Niagara Falls.
Hopefully it uploads before I hit the bottom.
Yeah. Now, I did start talking to them about how Sergi and I went looking at storefronts for CNG Gaming the store.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
What's that?
I said, yeah, you were telling me about that the other day.
Yeah. And so, we're looking, and for $185 a month, we can get a storefront at the local, well, it's not even local, it's kind of like a tri-county flea market. It's pretty big, and they get a lot of traffic, and I talked to people who are around the different booths and asked them about their traffic and peak times of their traffic and the low times of their traffic, and is it steady or sporadic. And the one guy that we were looking at, it's in the A row, so it's right in the front, and people hit those first thing in the morning. And so if people are there all day, they're going to kind of, as they're going to the back, they're not going to go all the way to the back because they're going to get tired, they're going to turn around, and they're going to leave. So we'll catch double traffic. Once when they're going in, and once when they're coming back out. So we're gonna work at that. We're gonna put, like I said, I got to put a business proposal together so we can make sure we get all of our T's crossed and I's dotted. And eventually, once we have a store that is functional, we should be able to start finding wholesalers who we can then start buying cheaper for the games and stuff. That way we can turn around and then start saving everybody else money who comes in and purchases them. So, I mean, that's what we've been working on, and we'll see how that happens. And then I was explaining to the group about you giving me another month of WoW, which I appreciated. Thank you very much again, sir. And my way of going towards the next expansion, I'm going to start mining enough stuff that once the expansion drops, I can flood, or not flood, but put into the market items for crafting, so people will start buying them, so that they have it, so they can do all their crafting and stuff like that. At first, I thought that was a damn alligator until I clicked on the picture.
Well, the one
that's nice.
You got the one on the trail, the one with the wife, and the youngest one and her friend, and the dog. Then you got the picture of the sign that explains about the falls, and then I just put the one with the falls on there. Yep,
I see that.
Now I'm going back to the car to plug the phone in before it dies.
Gotta get back to the car. You remember seeing that movie, the Adam Sandler's Longest Yard?
Yeah, I have.
The guy running around the track, can of corn. I'll be alright. I just need a can of corn. That'd probably be me after going through that for a few hours. But if anybody has any questions, comments, or anything of the sort, let us know now, or just hit us up on our channels, or right here in Discord. Hit us up in Discord. Send us messages. There's many different ways you guys can get a hold of us. If there's something that we didn't cover that you feel we needed to, let us know. That way we can make sure that you guys get the best amount of information that we can give you so that we're doing our jobs. Okay. You got anything else you want to talk about, Murder?
Oh, nothing I can think of. I got missed half the show.
Well, we pretty much covered everything. I was waiting. I didn't hear from you because I wasn't sure exactly what you guys had planned for today. So I was kind of like, I waited, and we had went, and I have a little bit of excess for the business, so we went and took the kids to go see Black Panther and put it on the business account. So we're going to show it as entertainment fees.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
I just got the phone plugged in finally.
Okay. All right. But if anybody's got anything, if you don't, and you want to wait until we're done and you guys want to shoot us messages, go right ahead. You can hit us up on Facebook. You can hit us up here on Discord, on Twitch. You guys have us on Twitch. Hit us up there. If you're on YouTube and you're watching from YouTube, just down in the little descriptions down there, there is an email address. Just hit us up on our email address or send us one of those messages through YouTube. And, we're working on getting ourselves situated to syndicate our show out to Roku and having our own channel on. Yeah, your salary is not entertainment fees. It is when you have to take out potential employees. Now I've lost track of what the hell I was saying.
Is this any better? Can you hear me better this way?
Oh, yeah.
I got my Bluetooth plugged in now.
Oh, nice. What was I just talking about? I just lost it when you over there with your comments. Oh, yes.
Talking about your
setting up for a Roku channel. It's free. We don't have to pay anything for it, and we can broadcast to Roku at any time we want. We have our own channel and everything. And then we were looking at some of the podcasting places, and they're going to what they call paid podcastings, and you're really not even really podcasting as much as you're just uploading your podcast and it being replayed. Live podcasting costs like $100 a month. There's no way. We would have to show that we're making that kind of money in order to even be able to spend that kind of money to do that kind of stuff. So.
Oh, like we would have to pay $100, not the people listening?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? And then if you're receiving anything through Patreon or Game Wisp or anything like that, they need to know about it so they can then charge you for getting money.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and there's no way. I would never do it. That's why I was looking at alternatives and stuff like that. And, if the Roku channel thing works out and we can get the Roku channel up and running, and we can broadcast directly to the Roku channel, and people can sit there and watch us on their televisions. So, but, you got anything else you want to talk about, Murder? Now that you're back at the car?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Right. Like I said, I missed most of the show, so I think I jumped in for enough of it.
Well, we kind of went back over some of it. You got your viewpoints on some of it, and then had your expertise for the motherboard fiasco.
Yeah, fiasco.
Yeah, that's what I'm calling it, man.
I'm hoping that it's worth it in the end.
I'm going to tell you right now, if that runs the way they say it's supposed to run, I think more people should start building those computers like that. And situated, because I just seen an HP that had a 1070 in it. Not a 1070 Ti either. It was just a 1070. And I think it had 16 gigs of RAM. Maybe it was only 8 gigs of RAM. Windows 10 with a 1 terabyte hard drive and a CD DVD player, recorder thingy. And it was $1,200 to $1,400.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's with an Intel i7 4770 or 7770 or something like that.
Yes, we don't have the CD-ROMs on ours. I didn't really see a need in it.
Well, our CD-ROMs, I already had some, so I just plugged them in. Was no big deal. Because I normally, when I get a computer that somebody doesn't want anymore, I will take out all the parts that can still be used, and then the rest of it, I find one way or another to reuse it of some way. And then the cases, I like to try to clean the cases up, and if I can reuse the case to build a computer, then I reuse the case to build a computer.
Yeah, I've got, I'm putting Windows 10 Pro on all of them too, so I can remote into them anytime I need to without third-party stuff.
Yeah, because the stuff you need for the home edition, you got to have the app, and the app is a third-party app for it.
Yeah, and you can't remote desktop in unless it's Pro, so.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I think they should put that on all of them, but whatever.
I did explain to them the 12-hour server won over the 24-hour server, but I did explain to them that I went to the forums, because you can't send them a direct email because it's not, wouldn't be worth their time. So you're basically talking to somebody that's in the forums. But how to do the 24-hour setup with it constantly running, and then a 12-hour setup as well. And having the 7 days on the 7th day, and how the 4 hours of Horde Night will be just 4 hours of trying to stay alive.
Yeah, really. Okay, so the server has already been changed to a 12-hour day-night cycle, and returned back to day one. So the 12-hour server is set up. We just have to figure out how to do the 24-hour one.
See, and I think that to do the 24-hour one, you would have to, for the 1 hour of in-game, you would have to tell it that it's 24 hours or something of the sort. I was trying to find it. There's nothing in any of the stuff that tells you that. There's nothing out there for 24-hour servers. I couldn't find anything. So a 24-hour server, and getting people to come onto that 24-hour server and just sit in God mode and watch these people doing the things they're going to do would be enough entertainment for a lifetime.
Yeah. Now, setting it to 24 hours isn't the problem. That's pretty easy. It's getting it to stay running when there's nobody on it.
Yeah. Because there are no settings. I went and checked settings again. There is not one setting for turning on or off continual server.
Yeah.
So, but I did put that information out there. I sent you a link to it as well.
Oh, okay.
It's where did I send that to? I think I sent it to you in Facebook directly to you. Let's see here. Make sure.
The wife looks so excited in that picture.
I know, didn't she? Yeah, I sent it to you directly into your private Facebook.
Okay.
So it's a link, and like I even wrote in there, I tried to email them, but because it's not media related or a serious business proposition, they don't answer emails. So, oh my gosh, my neck hurts. But anyway, peeps, we will be back again next Saturday. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Hopefully, different location.
Yeah, for you.
Yeah.
And then we'll have more information for your build, hopefully by then, or an update at least. And then
yes, I think I'm actually going to. I'm just going to say screw AMD because they just seem to be taking their time. So I mean, it's just going to be faster to mail it, have it sent back. So hopefully by next weekend, next Saturday, we will have some performance information for everybody.
Yeah. And then if anybody has me on their Facebook page, you'll see my rant I went on.
What'd you rant about this time?
You know that the Democrats, and this is getting political, peeps, but I'm just stating facts here. It's not an opinion. They have set up a bill that they want to get passed that will outlaw anything they deem to be an assault weapon. That goes shotguns, pistols, and rifles. Anything. It's called HR 5087. And it's to regulate the importation, manufacture, possession, sale, or transfer of assault weapons and for other purposes. Other purposes being, eventually they're going to come into your home, take every weapon you have, you will not be able to defend yourself, and only criminals will have weapons.
They still got to get that passed, though. I don't see it happening.
Well, they're trying. They are trying, and I sent it. It's on my Facebook page. You just check it out on my wall. You'll see it on there. And I went on a little rant with it and gave my viewpoints and threw in a few facts here and there to trip up the liberals. But anyway, peeps, I want to thank everybody for stopping by. Murder, thank you very much for coming in. We did understand that you were kind of busy, so we appreciate you coming by, bro. And,
yeah, man, it was I say it's kind of a last minute thing. The wife was like, "Hey, why don't we, drive an hour and 40 minutes away and go check this place out?"
Hey, it gets you out of the house and kind of gets the kids out away from video games, right?
Yeah, I wasn't dressed for hiking a trail though, man. I'm in cargo pants and everything.
Shit, I'd be in freaking shorts and a t-shirt.
If I had known it was coming, yeah, that's what I'd have worn.
Because my fat ass would have been sweating everywhere, probably.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close.
Yeah. So, anyway, peeps, I'd like to thank everybody for stopping by. Zach, thank you very much, sir. I do appreciate you stopping by. Kuga, thank you very much for stopping by. Searchy, you had no choice. Murder, thank you very much, sir, for being my host. I do love having you on the show, man. And peeps, friends don't let friends game alone. Peace.